Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate you for watching the American Investor Show. Brought to you guys by EquityFeed.com. Get 2 weeks free, EquityFeed.com. Best scanner on the market, and my good friends over at Investors Hangout. Best place for OTC stocks, InvestorsHangout.com. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Bundle Up, George M, More Peace, Matt M, DPG, Gucci, or Cool Cats. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I mean, you want to talk about a great day of trading if you buy large caps. Today was that day. This morning, the Republicans out of nowhere decided to bring the tax plan up for a vote in the House of Representatives. This was something that wasn't supposed to go down technically until next week. Well, come to find out this morning, they put it to a vote and it passed. So the first part of the tax plan has now moved from the House of Representatives now to the United States Senate. So very, very, very bullish energy to start the day, and that was a good for the markets overall. I mean, we had been kind of consolidating a little bit for the last couple days, and just, I mean, that 154 cap that I had put up there, I mean, it just exploded right above it with today's move, and I mean, that's what it was today. Absolutely what it was today, as you can see here on the hourly charts. Man, I mean, just a beast. What a beast. I mean, just from the morning, the buy signals were everywhere. I mean, there were too many stocks, large cap stocks, to buy. Everything was running. Everything was running today. We were pretty disappointed in Cisco. I saw a guy who was hot on Cisco pre-market or after hours last night, and then Cisco just ended up being a complete dud, even though that was a earnings winner. Here you go, opened up and didn't really do anything after that. I mean, just kind of opened up, and you know, you had a little bit, maybe 30 cents move higher, and that was it on Cisco. I thought that would keep running on those incredible earnings. I also want to hit on what's going on, Terry Cherry. Would he write Joel Kraft? I kind of want to hit on also some of these Chinese companies out here that are literally, I mean, destroying people's accounts. I mean, some of these Chinese plays out here are destroying people's accounts that I'm seeing post on Stock Twits and on Twitter. You know, there's all fun and games when you're trying to jump into these trades to make a few bucks, but when they don't go your way, I mean, they are fucking people's lives up, man. They are really fucking people over. So you made some of your money back today, all green today. All right, that's cool, Donnie Hill. Wish everybody a green day every day. All right, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. Let's keep it moving here. Let me pull up my Equity Feed scanner and see what was hot today. You know, what was hot yesterday was LEDS. I just want to bring this up real quick And this was another Chinese play. And again, these Chinese stocks just popping out of nowhere. I don't know who's pumping these things. I mean, leaving people with incredible bags, man. Leaving people with incredible bags. Let me go ahead and flush this one down the drain, man. Now, if you remember LEDS, that was running after hours yesterday. What's going on, Carlos? Bond, what's up, man? Been a minute, bro. James Bond in the house, man. This guy, he was here when we only had like 10 people in here. What's going on, James? But LEDS was running after hours, man. This was like an $8 stock. It was an $8 stock yesterday after hours. And I'm not going to deny the move because, or deny the move rather, because there was time to get in this, I guess, if you know how to play that kind of thing. Very similar run to yesterday where it sold off in the morning and then all of a sudden you had this weird, afternoon. It's as if, someone or some group wakes up and decides to buy it in the afternoon. You saw that the previous day too. It's just very weird. Just weird as hell on LEDS. The only thing about this stock is you haven't gotten that real dump, right? You haven't really gotten that real dump yet in LEDS. And regardless, the stock did put up 8.45% today, closing at 693. All right, so I figure it's still in play. But just be careful on it, man. This is an ugly looking setup right here. Look at that. This is the hourly. It's a very ugly looking setup right there. Got a lot of downside risk. See a little wedge creating there. Don't like where that RSI is dipping there at the tip, but we'll see what happens. And that is the candlestick going into the end of the day, so I won't give it too much credence. At the end of the day, you still had a very strong morning. All right. Somebody bringing up Walmart. Yeah, Walmart had an incredible day. Incredible day. Walmart crushing earnings. Everybody was worried about Walmart because Walmart, everybody knows, has Amazon literally on their backs. Amazon is literally on the backs of Walmart. If Walmart slips up, Amazon is right there to go for the jugular. I'll give it to you. Walmart killed it, man. Walmart killed it. Options were liquid as hell today on Walmart. Walmart up 10%. That you'll probably get a second day in that tomorrow, by the way. Just to let you know, you'll probably get a second day in that because if you read the earnings statement, that was quite impressive. Thank you, James. Crypto's cooling down. Crypto's cooling down. That's probably why these Chinese stocks are running so damn much. Some of these crypto guys are coming back after getting their asses handed to them over there in Bitcoin. A lot of guys got burned, but it's up and down. You know what I mean? It's an up and down thing. It's an up and down thing. The last couple of days, it seems like it was all right. Let me see here. I think this. What happened? Wasn't it like? What happened? Let me see here. I thought there was a dump somewhere. Was that this morning sometime? Yeah, it was some kind of dump in the afternoon. Yeah, it might have been this or something like that. Saw some of those tweets come through my my Twitter account. Yeah, Bitcoin's making all new highs. Absolutely. We're talking about the few days prior. Talking about the few days prior because it's making, new highs these last 2 days, but that doesn't explain why some of these Chinese stocks all of a sudden started running when Bitcoin was selling off over the last several days. Yeah, that's kind of crazy about CVO. What's going on, Stock Z? Jay said you lost about $6,000 on crypto. Shit. Where were you buying at, man? It looks. I mean, looking at the chart, if you held, I figure you'd made all your money back. So he's bringing up INPX. Let's look at INPX. But yeah, going back to Walmart, you should get a second day on that Walmart play, man. Walmart should have another great day tomorrow. You're not going to get 10%, but I think you can get another 2 or 3 for you guys who are playing the options. INPX up 7.5%. 4.8 million traded today on what news? That's pretty impressive. The stock's only put up 1.9 as the average. Put up 4.8. You left a lot of people up there today at 46 cents, closing at 41. Don't like the chart, man. It's got a lot of, not a fan of that chart, but do your best. We also had somebody bring up CVO. CVO today is another one that got people excited based on the move yesterday. Got to a high of $1.23 on the morning, just couldn't hold it. There we go. Sorry, $1.23 in the morning, just couldn't hold it. Previous day, very similar chart to previous day, but it just didn't have as many buyers today as yesterday. All right. In fact, I think you had more, and you still couldn't really get past yesterday's bullish momentum. All right. So even though, it still put up 4%. You still put up 4%. Only really benefited anybody who was in the stock the day before. If you got in it today, you're holding on to a few percent of losses. So another hard fork coming for Bitcoin. We'll be here to see. We'll be here to see. Let's keep it going. BIDU. Baidu. Explain what is Baidu again. Is it kind of like an eBay kind of thing? I've kind of forgotten about Baidu. Baidu's kind of one of those stocks that should be in the FANG, but it starts with a B, so nobody really knows where to kind of put that. It should be one of those kind of FANG stocks, but it's kind of like Google or some shit like that, right? I thought it was kind of an eBay thing, but yeah, it should be one of those kind of FANG type stocks, but yeah, it is what it is. One of those Chinese technology plays. CADC, another one of those Chinese companies, China Advanced Construction Materials Group. These Chinese plays, man, that are running, many of them have little or no assets whatsoever. I really want to get to the bottom line of who's running these pumps. The stock is up over 265%. Huge move higher. I can't explain to you why. I don't even know why. I'd love for somebody to call in and tell me why. Obviously, as traders, you just play the chart, right? That's really all you can do. I know the short sellers are loving the fact that you got these plays that are running right now. They're not going to stay up there forever. We already saw that yesterday with some of the plays that were hot yesterday that dumped on traders incredibly hard today. We can go back to, what was that? Was that Yeko from yesterday? Another Chinese play? Yeko. That Chinese play that was up. Yesterday was up 25%. Today down 4%. Li Ju. Li Ju was another one. Li Ju was up 16%. Today down 5%. Actually, let me get back into a daily chart so you can see the dump. There he goes. Down 5%. All right. Another stock, by the way, that was higher in pre-market. Got people to chase, and they ended up losing their ass. People chasing these stocks that are running on nothing at all. That's the worst stock to chase. But hey, everybody's got to pay tuition to learn this game. What other stock was hot yesterday? Ended up dumping. Yingji, YGE, Yingji Green Energy. Huge day yesterday. Today, had people chasing? Nothing. They got nothing. All right, Yingji Energy. What other ones? I know there were a couple ones yesterday. 919, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, how's it going?
Hey, Bats, what's up with you, bro?
Doing all right. How's your trading day?
Going good. I mean, my big thing is Roku. Everybody knows that. And Roku finally, showing some weakness. We thought we had it. I thought we had it this morning. But I got to give it up to those longs, man. They were relentless. I mean, they were really relentless in Roku. They came in and dip bought, holding, the trend or this small little trend line that had been developing from yesterday's dump. And we finally broke it today at about 2 o'clock, 2:10. And we finally got the sell-off. We didn't break that 39.23, which we really needed to. So we'll see tomorrow. But, I mean, that just goes for me to just kind of verify to my own beliefs that this game is rigged, man. This game is so fucking rigged. Yeah. I mean, the fact that market makers, institutional money allowed this trade to hang on to 130% gains until the last day of expiration on weekly options. That just tells me this game is rigged, because now they're going in tomorrow with some of these $37, $38 options going for literally 10 cents, 15 cents. If this crashes tomorrow, you have traders who are just getting in possibly tomorrow or got in last night or tonight, who could possibly end up making 300 or 400% on their money. Absolutely insane, man. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about chasing, chasing a stock, and if you've been watching Ross Cameron, yesterday I guess he made like $33,000 in one or a couple of trades, and then today he made $40,000 in a trade, and he was talking about the volatility. But I found, especially with these stocks that run, and probably there are a few people on this show who just don't want to chase. I've come to the realization that for me and my trading style, I do not want to chase. I want the stock to come to me. And that's why recently, if you've noticed, I've been talking on your show about, secondary offerings, secondary or public offerings, mm-hmm. and waiting for the stock to come down, and then looking at the stock to see if it makes sense getting in, and also looking at investor or hedge fund type of insider buying, so you can catch a bounce either after a second offering,
yeah.
Or after like bad earnings. So, for instance, one example, like right now, is Sprint, right? When the merger with T-Mobile didn't work out, and people thought Sprint was just going to go down. Mm-hmm. You look at SoftBank, that owns most of Sprint. They've just been consistently accumulating shares of Sprint. Mm-hmm. If you go to FinViz and you go to the Insider tab, that tells you a lot of what's happening. And you look month after month, week after week, SoftBank has been accumulating 3 million shares of Sprint, 2 million shares of Sprint. And so when most people are chasing these stocks, the hedge funds, the smart money, they're waiting for a disaster to happen, and then they're going in. So the specific example I want to bring to people's attention is a biotech company out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, called Leap Therapeutics, and the ticker is LPTX.
Okay. LPTX, okay. Looking at the chart.
So this one, Yeah, so this one I actually waited for it because, as you know, as I said on your show, I'm waiting for offerings because that's when most inexperienced traders tend to get out of the trade, or people, you know, the bears sell it off, and you know your longs kind of, you know, all disappear, and people tend to, when there's blood on the street, they tend to run in a panic, and you get that panic sell that, you know, Tim Sykes often talks about. Mm-hmm. So Leap Therapeutics is a biotech company out of Massachusetts. Like I said, they're doing cancer research. Basically, this morning what I saw was there was an offering for $6.08, and obviously there wasn't that much of a dip in the stock, but what brought the stock to my attention, if you look at the insider buying on this, it was ridiculous. So we have the CEO. The CEO bought, I think, let me just check quickly here. The CEO bought the equivalent of, I think, 1 million shares at $6.08. The CFO bought the same amount of shares at $6.08. So each of these guys are putting in $1 million to buy their own stock at $6.08.
And Bats, this was relatively recently? This was recent?
This was today, and they bought it. The filing date, it showed up today, but they actually did the transaction 2 days ago.
Wow.
Often you'll see a delay of a day or two between the filing date and the trade date. So that's okay. I said the CEO bought $1 million worth of shares. Yeah. The CFO bought $1 million worth of shares. The COO, Chief Operating Officer, bought $1 million worth of shares, and then a hedge fund company that sponsors them or has been buying their shares. I think they're a 10% plus owner. I think they're called Healthcare Ventures. Bought also $4 million worth of shares. Okay. And these cluster buys and top officer purchases, you can either get them off of FinViz. When you click the Insider tab, you'll see what shows up. Anyway, long story short, you know, these guys all got the stock at 608, which is where the offering price was, and they often buy, it looks like they buy either at the end of the day, after hours, they do it. Mm-hmm. They do it after the stock has traded, or just before the end of the day or late afternoon. So I looked at this, and then I researched the company, saw that they have at least $20 million in cash. Yeah. They have zero debt. You know, I often talk about biotech in Cambridge, Massachusetts, or Boston in general, that it's unmatched. I mean, there's obviously the California side of biotech, but you look at these companies, they really, really run well. And then short interest on this is only 0.45%. That means that no one is betting against this company. That's in my case, that's good because I'm going long. Absolutely. And I'm wanting to swing trade. So anyway, I got in at $6.15 and posted that, listen, I'm in. Because what I do mostly these days is I'll suggest stocks to get in. If I'm actually in it, I'll actually post on Twitter that I'm in it. Mm-hmm. And I just saw this thing run in the last hour. It didn't run. I mean, it's a $6 stock, but it's a low float stock. I think somewhere between 4 and 8 million in float. Okay. And with all those millions spent of these guys getting back into this stock, this thing ended up, I bought it at $6.15, it closed at $6.90. Now, for most people who do OTC stocks, a 12, 13, 14, 15% gain probably means nothing. Mm-hmm. But for me, it means a big deal, because what I'm practicing to do with these type of trades, with these offerings and insider buys, hedge fund type of trades, I'm looking to put in large sums of money that I can then try to reap like maximum reward, rather than, trying to chase all these day trades all day and being caught holding the bag.
Yeah.
So I found it works a lot. So anyway, that's my pick for swing traders out there. I mean, maybe tomorrow it runs, but I doubt it. This is like a trade. Maybe you can, make an extra $2 or $3 in the next week or two to come. But we'll see what happens with LPTX. There's a similar one, SCM.
Okay.
That's Sam, Charlie, Matilda, SCM. This one did badly for earnings, came down, but then there's insider buying on this. So if you want to see, who's buying what, like I said, go to FinViz. You can actually go to the SEC site as well if you want to do that, or a site like Guru Focus, where you can pick up on these. But this thing, I can expect it. SCM, you can see there's a lot of Canex selling in the last 2 or 3 days. Today you have somewhat of a, maybe a tweezer button, but maybe like more like a bullish harami, but whatever.
Now, Bats, does the light volume bother you at all? I mean, I see only 140,000 shares were traded on this, but
not at all.
Okay.
I'd only worry if I was in with a huge position. I mean, if you've got $20,000, $40,000, maybe it's a problem. But if you're putting in like a couple $1,000s worth, yeah, you're right. I mean, you do need that liquidity if you're going in to a stock, so that your entries and exits can actually happen.
I mean, I know you're not looking to go in and out the same day, so I know it's different for you when we talk about that.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And LPTX, that one, even though I think its average was like at 30,000, which is nothing, but today it ended up trading more than 10 times its volume. Yeah. So 300,000 is not that much by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still, 10 times more is still 10 times regardless what the amount is. So we should definitely see some play on that. SCM, like I said, keep an eye on that. We talked about Sprint, and, just look for those who are interested in trading like hedge funds, look for when these stocks come down and try to find insiders who are buying in, try to find out just a little bit about the company. And if it's a company that you're willing to get into, whether it's an investment or a short or long-term swing trade, man, at this stage, I wish I was in options, because I would be all over this. But, I'm taking baby steps, and options would be my next type of like little project. For me, I'll obviously just need to get more familiarized with how everything works. But as of now, this strategy has been working for me, trading like a hedge fund. And I just wanted to remind people, like, you don't have to chase stocks. Wait for the stock to come to you. Where people, and like you said, Sal, you said this, and you've said this all on your shows with these second offerings, is it happens a lot with biotech. Yeah. And, these biotechs have a knack for not having any PE ratios, because most of their money is just spent in R&D, and a lot of them don't have sales per se. But you do have companies like Gilead, GILD, which is actually at a good price right now if you wanted to get into it, or Merck. I mean, we all know Merck, MRK. A lot of these bigger pharmaceutical or biotech companies, Regeneron's another one, but that's hundreds of dollars, where you could do options for that. If it's a penny stock biotech and they're wanting to raise money, they will wait for a disaster to come, and if the insiders know that they're sitting on a gold mine, they'll pick up the shares, while they're really cheap, and hold on to them, while most of the most of us are focused on buying and selling in one day or a couple of days. These guys are playing the long game.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, just a reminder to people that you don't have to chase stocks. You can wait for them to come to you. I appreciate it, Sal.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call, Bats.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Bats brings up an excellent point, and that's another way to trade. I mean, just another way to trade stocks by, using insider buying as a catalyst, to going long in certain biotech stocks. You can Google that insider buying strategies. They're out there. They're out there. So he's, bringing that to the forefront, and I appreciate him calling in and spending some time showing us, how to go about looking at those Form 4s and identifying stocks that, aren't looking like they're doing much, but in the background, you got people who are putting up significant amount of capital because they believe, the long-term, strategy. So that's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing for a stock like that. And he gave us LPTX. And looks like he got some significant insider buying across the boardroom in LPTX. And a stock that isn't doing much now, but we've seen, how many times have we seen that in biotech where, out of nowhere it runs and somebody's capitalizing. I mean, somebody was in the stock. All of a sudden 30, 40 million people come into those shares on that day that great news drops. But they were people who, knew what was going on behind the scenes and had taken positions, and they use the volume that many of us day traders bring as their opportunity to cash in on their patience. So appreciate you, Bats, for that. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. All right, so let's bring up you guys' tickers. Some of you guys were bringing up in the chat room. EGLT. Yeah, you got some people who don't appreciate knowledge, man. You got to, you can't 5-minute this shit sometimes. You have to actually have to listen to people and what they're presenting. EGLT 1.15 up 38%. EGLT with a phase 3 study. Let me guess, was it cancer? You guys know if it's something with cancer, it's always going to put up something like that. Let me see. Was this cancer drug? No, I'm not seeing anything having to do with cancer, though. But, boy, look at that candlestick, man. You left a lot of people up there. All right, here was the move. All right, here was the move in the morning. Boy, I don't know how you guys play this, but I mean, look, it got up there on that second bar. But it came all the way back down. No buyers at that 160 level, 157 to be exact, and pulled all the way back down. I mean, who got the balls to hold that shit? I mean, you're out of there, losing 40 cents in about 5 minutes. It's like 5-minute candlestick. We can go down a little smaller, say the 2-minute, and watch you lose your ass here, as start off really aggressively, and then it is what it is. That's kind of what happens when people get too excited in pre-market. That's why sometimes, getting overextended at pre-market. I know Stock God, you had talked about this, when stocks do too much too soon. And, every buyer's looking for a discount. Every smart buyer, he's looking for a discount to get in his trade, A nickel here, a nickel there, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. What's going on, David? Got David from Investors Hangout in the building. What's up, K-Mac? I saw you coming in the room. Mace Ingle. All right, chart writer. Let's take a look at it. ABEV. ABEV. Let's get back to the daily charts. Yeah, I can't wait till this Roku thing dies out so I can get back to some of these OTC pump and dumps. Because I think after this Roku thing, I'm going to be back to the pennies for at least some time, because this shit's been getting all up in my feelings, man, having me, god damn, all emotional, bro, all emotional. ABEV, up 1.9%. Man, that's an ugly looking chart there. This is a daily chart too. This is very ugly. Doji pattern today. Looks like it's happened a couple times here. I mean, 15 million shares traded though. What's going on here? ABEV. I hate the candlestick though. All right, let's keep it going. James Bond, STM. Yeah, STM. Incredible stock, man. Incredible stock, STM. This is kind of one of those stocks that, you know, for whatever reason, hasn't been talked on CNBC, hasn't been talked on any of those, you know, major platforms. I haven't seen an article on it on Market Watch, Benzinga, nothing. But incredible year for STM. This is a stock that started off the year in the single digits. Actually, let's the end of last year in the single digits. And now we're looking at a $24 stock that's up just under 300% over the course of, I want to say, maybe 14 months. 300% in about 14 months. That's a solid, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. Wonderful stock, STM, been running. I've recommended this stock to a lot of people. And now with this tax plan, keep going. Keep going. You know, I'm the biggest bear in the world, but I mean, let me tell you right now, it just passed the House of Representatives today. It's going to the Senate. I know they've got a Republican or two out there who's got some disagreements. The Democrats aren't strong enough to do anything. It's going to pass, and you're talking about another possible, you know, year and a half of the kind of moves we're seeing here every single day. I mean, because the numbers games that they can play now with taxes, you know, whether you're talking about S corporations and pass-throughs and all, there's just so many things they're going to be able to do with the numbers to make their books just look flawless. Just look flawless. You got to read that tax plan and see how it can work. All right, INVN. Let's take a look at it, James. Identiv. And by the way, I got some really great pump and dump short opportunity for you shorters out there. Remind me to go over them few phony cannabis plays, a couple fake biotechs, and I got one lithium play that's a bunch of bullshit. All right, they have a whole bunch of, you know, properties that they only have like leases on. It only, but not any physical digging is taking place on some of them lithium, on that one lithium play that I have. Identiv, 1.6% today. Here's the daily chart. A lot of bearish energy in this one, man. What is this? This is a NASDAQ play? Only 1,000 shares traded today, so very illiquid. Maybe even little too light for me, my man. Let's take a look at EOMN. More peace in the chat room with this stock. Ethios Media Network. Don't know anything about it. Here's the daily chart. And another one that's got relatively low volume. Got to really zoom in here to see the move. So something moved today there, up 128%. But again, check the volume and make sure it just wasn't one person. All right. Just to make sure. Iceberg J, you said Roku might be worth $100 next year. Absolutely not. I wouldn't say $100. You know, I put up another 10 for December 15th. I posted that on Twitter. For the December 15th $40 put. So giving myself a little bit of time because you damn longs in Roku. God, get a fucking life. Move on. Shit. MRDN, Meridian Waste Solutions, up 87% today. This was one of the biggest gainers in the market yesterday, too. This was one of the biggest gainers on the market yesterday. Meridian Waste, yesterday they put up 32%, 87% today. So you're up over 100 and what, 10%, 115% in MRDN in 2 days. You actually were up higher than that. You left a lot of people up there at 365, a full $1 higher Let's look at the 2-minute chart on that one. And where was that at? Yeah, this is the morning run. Oh, man, yeah, look at that. Leaving a lot of people up there. But, you know, I'll give you the hand clap on that one just because it's been an incredible 2-day run. An incredible 2-day run. And that first run, I don't know if you want to, some people may not count that because that first run was pretty light on the volume, but all the traffic showed up today, keeping those prices higher and sending it even higher. But unfortunately, nobody wanted this in the threes. You got a wall now being created, or has been created now, in MRDN. You closed up with some buying energy, people expecting possibly a run tomorrow morning as well. But, you know, you got some ceilings here you got to go past here. So we'll see if you can make that happen tomorrow. I don't see what the catalyst was for that kind of buying energy. If you know what it was, let me know. Give me a call. You see my number there on the screen. But that's Meridian Energy or Meridian Waste Solutions. Miscategorized as a bakery product manufacturing. So I don't know if they used to go as something else or what, but they're just miscategorized here on the NASDAQ. Corey Kwan, UPS call options for Black Friday. It would make sense. I think UPS call options all the way until, you know, why not go into January? I mean, it's a solid Christmas play. If you're gonna play UPS, why play UPS for Black Friday? Black Friday, everybody's gonna be online. In fact, everybody who follows retail is telling you that nobody's gonna be actually. Oh, no, well, that makes sense to go UPS. Hold on, I'm thinking we're talking about a retail stock here. Yeah. But I would play beyond Black Friday. I would play into the Christmas holiday. Play it into the Christmas holiday, not just Black Friday. Black Friday is going to be huge, but I don't know who's going, you know, to trade the stock just because of Black Friday. But I can definitely see a lot of people buying the stock into the holiday season. You know, just my 2 cents. JAGX. Jaguar Animal Health. I mean, this this is a garbage stock. This stock is a garbage stock. It's going to get delisted. Probably should have never been trading. Wish it had options. This would have been a beautiful, beautiful play. This kind of looks like, you know, what JCPenney will end up looking like. And a cheap little stock nobody wants. JCPenney will probably end up getting bought out. But just stay away from it. They'll get delisted or they'll file for bankruptcy. Absolutely legendary eights. Absolutely. Just what you said, man. Flush that one down the toilet. ZSAN. Let's take a look at ZSAN. Zosano Pharma. This is another one of those biotechs that I don't know what they're doing anymore. I don't know what they're doing anymore. You know, they should be talking about a reverse split. I mean, it's been under $1 here for actually not too long ago. It looks like they went under $1 back in June or July. So I guess they still got some time to play around under that $1 minimum price for the NASDAQ. But that's another one of those garbage biotech stocks. I don't like it. Don't like the chart. Don't like where you're at. I mean, you know, very, very bearish. You're creating new lows. You know, I don't like buying stocks, you know, actively creating new lows. This is probably another one, just like we just took a look at, probably bankrupt. CDTI, Clean Diesel Technologies, CDTI, California-based energy and powertrain systems company. Again, not a great looking chart. Incredible volatility. I mean, but I'm trying to figure out where this came from. I mean, is this just pure earnings? Because I see earnings came out on the 14th. Today's the 16th. So I guess earnings exactly what brought all that volume. As you can see here, very unusual for the stock. You don't really get days like this, but when you do get those days, you can see here it puts up quite a bit of buying when people are attracted to it. Very unusual volume for the stock. 6.2 million shares traded today. Average only 138,000 shares. I don't foresee this holding on to those gains, but we've been surprised. We just pulled up a chart showing you a second-day move. So CDTI, put it on your list. See what happens tomorrow. After hours, you're actually, on the ask side anyway, you're up at 239. But we'll see what can become of CDTI. Won't be surprised to see some shorters. But, be careful. You can get squeezed here if people really love this thing. Yeah, low floats running hard across the market. Low floats running hard across the market. Look at how much hell I'm having with Roku. Some of these Chinese plays that should be dead, dying, period, still running. Still running. All right? These across the board, low floats killing shorts right now. Killing shorts right now who are being too eager. CLWT, Eurotech Holdings, 8.8%. Man, whatever the hell's going on here, I don't like it at all. Not a fan, bro. Very liquid stock here, as you can see here. It looks like all the action came in recently. No commitment from the buyers here. You can just tell from those wicks, shadows, whatever you want to call them. I'm not feeling that one at all. OPHC, let's keep it going. Here's another one. Commercial bank. It's a bank up 234%. Bank stocks typically don't move like this, so I don't know how legit of a bank this is or what's going on here, but those you guys who know stocks, bank stocks are some of the most illiquid stocks on the market, especially when you're talking about the OTC side and the NASDAQ side for the most part. Bank stocks, unless you're talking about some of these larger regional banks like the SunTrust and BBT of the world, for the most part, they barely move. I mean, like 500 shares here and there. Banks are, stable institutions where they're supposed to be. Volatility is the last thing you want to see in banking stocks. All right, because that means there's a lot of problems going on. That's everything that a bank is not supposed to be. So not sure why Optimum Bank Holdings is up 234%, unless this is another one of those pumps where somebody comes in and says, hey, everybody, this is the trade. And, is this on lowfloat.com? This might be one of those lowfloat.com, because that's what a lot of those chat rooms are doing. They're going on lowfloat.com. And they're saying, oh, look at this. This stock's only got 2 million outstanding. Or 2 million, outstanding, 900K float. That's the push. I'll short the shit out of this tomorrow, though. HEMP, let's look at it. HEMP, is that the US-based version? I don't know. Let me make sure. No, that wasn't. That wasn't the U.S. one. All right, U.S. I'm like, I know hemp didn't move that hard. HEMP down 1%. Again, I'm just not feeling it, man. There are a couple cannabis stocks that are out there running. Most of them are pumps. I'll show you one here in just a second. HEMP, I don't like the chart. Again, it's just creating new lows. You're being faked out. A couple buys here and there, but they're not. It's not holding. Looks like you're going lower. HEMP. Are pump and dump stocks legal? I mean, for the most part, they're catching all the guys after they make all the money. So, fuck it. I guess they are. CIFS. Yeah, CIFS is a beast, man. Who it's squeezing the shit out of people. I don't know. Let me find out first if there are any shorts available on here, because I don't see. Let me go on the 5-minute chart, because you can see a squeeze pattern. This probably is definitely one of that. You got a midday run to cover there. A couple ones here too as well. So, but let me see here, because I don't know if these stocks actually have options available, or they just got people who are just really in love with these stocks. CIFS. CIFS. Let's see. CIFS. And I'm not seeing Interactive Brokers with any shares. Actually, you know what? Damn, they do have shares available. Hold on. CIFS. 7,000 shares available of CIFS to short. No wonder this shit keeps running, man. You got some guys who are shorting, but they're getting pushed. Look, it's a $57 stock. So, you know, if you're going to go in here, that means you got to go in with some size, and they're squeezing the shit out of them. And that could be very well why this stock keeps going higher. I don't know why this RSI is just not moving on this stock. I swear it was 80 yesterday. Yeah, they're getting their asses handed to them. Let's take a look at some more tickers. ENPH. ENPH, Enphase Energy. Another stock that's on a tear. 87 on the RSI. And I'm every day I'm telling people, you know, be careful with this one. I still think you got to be careful, especially with this candlestick. With the candlestick you got today, I would definitely be careful with this, man. You did have commitment, you know, for buyers at those 230s, yeah, 230s, 232s. So you did have people come in and buy those up, but we did see a larger, you know, shadow at the top. Explain that there is some hesitation now at those higher levels, those 278s, 280s, 290s especially. Looks like your high was 298 today. Hesitation at those levels. All right. Let me see on the 5-minute. We can break it down a little bit. On the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so gosh, man, these are what's up with these stocks really holding these levels like this? I mean, that's people buying and saying, I'm in it. You know, I'm not selling for shit. They are really respecting these levels. It's just weird as fuck. I mean, we're talking about stocks that are, you know, not known for anything. Callie Robbie says, sure, hell no, I wouldn't dare short CIFS. What's the float on CIFS? I don't have time to look it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's less than 2 million based on the way that thing is running. It's got to be like less than 2, at least less than 5. CHFS, another Chinese play, was one of the biggest gainers in the market yesterday, selling off today. And that's kind of why I gave the name of this show today. You know, Chinese penny stocks blowing up traders' accounts, man, because, let me see, I'm going to put that R in there. But, you know, a lot of people losing their ass chasing these Chinese stocks, man. If you don't know what you're doing, you're getting eaten alive, as you see here. Again, many of these stocks are running pre-market. Many of these stocks are running pre-market. You got the Robinhood crowd. The Robinhood Gold crowd, you know, they got the opportunity to buy pre-market, so they're, hey, fuck it, I'm in. And then they're getting their asses handed to them. Don't like that little sell-off into the close here. You got a lot of, that's a lot of downside risk right now. And you've got some walls in front of you if you're looking to go long this. But way more downside risk. Be very careful because it looks like volume is drying up, as you can see here with these volume colored bars. Volume's drying up. You're not going to have buyers who are going to be able to help you maintain these higher prices. You get a low day tomorrow. Who are you going to sell to? Who are you going to sell to? You know, when you're playing these stocks, let's admit it, you're playing hot potato. You're in it to sell to somebody for a higher price. If there's nobody there who's willing to buy that price, well, you're going to be lowering your ask. Yeah. Yeah, we did talk about LEDS. LEDS is another one of those, you know, we just got done talking about a few low float stocks. It's another one of those low float stocks. You know, it's burning people on the way higher, but it's still holding because it is got a very low float. You know, it is got, you know, a bit of commitment in there. But I you know, if I'm a shorter, I love the way this is setting up here, because you have broken a trend here that you can say could be going lower. Let me see. Let's put the Bollinger Band. Can I put the bands on it? Oh wow, nice and wide too on the hourly. Nice and wide. So still a lot of indecision on the hourly, at least on LEDS. So this can go either way tomorrow. Just let's see if people show up. But you know, you had some decent volume today. I mean, 4.3 million shares today. I don't know what it was yesterday. Let me see here on the daily. You can get an indication. All right, so yeah, less than yesterday. So that's something to be concerned about. I mean, you get a 2 million share day tomorrow, you could be finding LEDS back in the fives if it's not careful. And that's why tomorrow is going to be the day for Roku. Roku lost 50% of its volume yesterday, 22% of its volume today. So, you know, this game is so fucking rigged, man. You know, you try to really believe that the liquidity and you know, the system makes it fair, but it is so fucking rigged, man. And the sooner you accept that and deal with that, I think that's when you'll become better, man. I still have trouble trying to, you know, really believe in that, but it is so fucking rigged. ENT, Global Eagle Entertainment, up 29%. Here's the daily chart. Ugly, very ugly daily chart. Got out of those oversold levels with an incredible amount of power, man. You know, don't you just love if every oversold stock came out of those oversold levels like that? Jeez. Would love that. ENT, Joe Silva, what's the story here? Yeah, I would have loved to have every freaking oversold stock do that. Viking Therapeutic, I was watching this stock, but just kind of got bored of it. I thought volume would improve because of the chart, but you just never really did improve volume. If anything, is drying up. But we talked about this stock. You got people buying the stock and, you know, holding, but the people who are very few and far between, but they're buying it. So it is what it is on that slowly climbing trend line there that I created. I thought, you know, it broke a couple times here, but it's holding it back with that candlestick today. Back above it nicely there at 276. All right. Moborn, IFXY. Let's take a look at what you're talking about here. Infrax Systems, OTC stock, down 12%. What's the story here? 59 million shares traded today. I mean, look, it's a 000. It's a lottery ticket. I think if you go long here, you got to be careful. You know, just make sure whoever is pumping this is going to keep doing it. Because, boy, you can lose your ass here on these triples if you're not careful, man. Joe Silver, no news, just momentum. Yeah, I mean, that if it's no news, just momentum, you got to be real careful with that. I mean, no news, just momentum, up 29%. I'm looking at that, and I'm saying, okay, this is a great short. Just below the 250 rule, so, but still a lot of meat on that bone, right? I mean, a lot of meat on that bone. You probably got 20 cents in there. If you're telling me that that's up on no news, that I could possibly be able to get out of that in a day or two. You know, you got about 20 cents a share there. I don't know if you got really the volume to bring that kind of energy to it, but, you know, a lot of meat on that bone. Congrats. Congrats, James. All right. So, Bon, are you saying with Cody and offering streaming, why would anyone pay for TV? Yeah, that's the reason why I don't like Roku, because you got those Cody boxes out there. You got many options out there that, built-in programs in smart TVs. You got these Samsung TVs that got their own little OS systems. So yeah. But Kodi is another one of those things there that's got, a significant following, man. A lot of people underestimate those little Kodi sticks, but you got those, you're good to go. I mean, you don't really need anything if you got a Kodi stick. You got the great, what are the ones for movies in there, like Exodus and a couple of those other ones. I don't even know. They still have Exodus? It's been a while since I've had one of those sticks. But you can go on Craigslist and all these little apps where you have guys who will hook you up $200, $150. They'll get you one of these Android boxes or Fire Sticks, and you'll have everything you need. Everything you need. XNet, up 24%. Another Chinese, this is a Chinese play. Another Chinese play. Up $2.95 today. $2.95 today. Jeez. That's crazy, man. You guys are in love with these Chinese stocks. And I'm not necessarily saying just traders in general. I don't even know why. So you could buy Kodi sticks on Amazon? I didn't know that. Yeah, there's absolutely no use for Roku if you already know about Kodi. Kodi is 4K, absolutely. Yeah, you got those 4K boxes. You go on eBay and you find those 4K boxes. And you got the boxes out there with some decent processors too. You got some guys who are selling the little mini PCs. I mean, those little mini PCs, that are floating out there with 2 gigs of RAM and Windows 7 and shit like that on them. I mean, those are like movie theaters in a box kind of thing, That's why he said Netflix is dead next. I wouldn't call Netflix dead because Netflix has got an international following. And although we here in America are good and, gone on those Kodi sticks and Fire Sticks, in the international space, the speed of internet quality hasn't really caught up there yet for them to be able to go that hard. You go to some of these countries, some of them are just barely over DSL speed, internet speed. So, a company like Netflix can come in and, offer a decent little package for them and whatnot. So yeah, I wouldn't go short Netflix just yet. But Netflix will, yeah, there'll come a time where we'll talk about a struggling Netflix. Absolutely. Customers' tastes change, new technologies change. Netflix will definitely come and go. Streaming is the future, but is technology will change, man. It's hard to explain now, but I mean, we talked about GE yesterday. That was hard to explain. I mean, the fact that, imagine if you're a guy in his 90s, you telling him, hey, man, GE's going out of business. He probably would like, what? Wouldn't believe what the hell you're talking about. EKSO, Medical Equipment Supplies Company, EKSO, up 8.5%. Up 8.5%. This is that company we talk about, if you're paralyzed, they'll put you in one of those bionic suits. Some pretty crazy shit. You should really see the video on that. Some really, really crazy shit. But they got people walking again, and they had an insurance company come out and actually buy or allow one of their members of their plans buy one of their products. If you go back, what was that? It was a while ago. It had to be one of these spikes up here. I think it was that one. I think it was that very top one when they went public. Way back when. Where that news just had it go insane. That news had it go insane. Okay. All right, let me see here. Some TAKOF. Drone delivery. This company's called, I don't know. I mean, it's still light in the volume, right? Only 100 shares traded, but it's got a very interesting business. It's called Drone Delivery Canada. Drone Delivery Canada. I know you'll probably will hear about it and forget it. I just want to, have this evidence that I talked about it. Interesting little business. I mean, it's a drone delivery, publicly traded drone delivery company. So I think that's the future. I know Amazon is kind of creating their own little thing, but I love the idea of drone delivery services. I mean, I think if you can find a way to kind of create that, I mean, you can start competing with UPS and shit like that. I mean, on a local level. On a local level, I mean, why not getting packages delivered locally by drone? Especially if we start getting drones that can literally go a couple 100 miles. Let's keep it going here. I just saw some really interesting businesses that I picked up on that you guys may be interested in. All right. What other things we got? Do I use leap options? I do use leap options. I'm actually thinking about possibly a leap option in GE with a put and a call. But leap options can get quite expensive when you start talking about stocks with a lot of volatility. Like if you look at leap options for stocks like Facebook or Nvidia or, some of those companies, besides the fact that they're expensive, the volatility is priced into those options and they make them incredibly expensive. You got some of these January 2019 calls going for like $65, $75. That's $7,500 for one option. But you can absolutely make a killing on that option if it goes in your direction. But I mean, are you that patient? And you gotta have cash. You gotta have a lot of cash. CARV, Carver Bank Corp. This is a stock that's got a lot of spikeability. I don't like it just because the volume will dry up quicker than anything I've ever seen. I mean, you'll get the spike and all of a sudden the next day it's like nobody shows up. A couple times this has happened before, and buyers are nowhere to be found the very next day. A few pump and dumps I wanted to get out there. Again, as soon as we are done feasting on Roku, and I believe that collapses tomorrow, so I can stop talking about this fucking stock. All right. LRTTF. We can get back into shorting some of these penny plays. LRTTF. OTC scam. In my opinion, anyway. It's got some decent cash on hand, but for the most part, if you look at some of the leasing agreements, many of them are really shady. They don't necessarily own the entire property. They'll take in like 10% ownership in some of the properties. They haven't actually dug anything yet. Decent volume, but I think you're nearing the end here in LRTTF. So look at the balance sheet, come to your own conclusions, but this is coming south. It had a nice run though since October, coming out of from 50 cents to a high of $1.90. So almost 400% there on LRTTF, but you're coming back down here very shortly. CNBX, another one. This is a phony phony cannabis play. 96 cents right now, losing a little bit of steam. It put up some decent volume today, but I think you could be losing some steam here on CNBX. 646, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, it's Ken. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Ken?
Hey, I had a very bad day today. I stepped away from my computer for freaking 8 minutes.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Appreciate you for watching the American Investor Show. Brought to you guys by EquityFeed.com. Get 2 weeks free, EquityFeed.com. Best scanner on the market, and my good friends over at Investors Hangout. Best place for OTC stocks, InvestorsHangout.com. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Bundle up, George M, More Peace, Matt M, DPG, Gucci, or Cool Cats. Ladies and gentlemen, today, I mean, you want to talk about a great day of trading if you buy large caps. Today was that day. This morning, the Republicans out of nowhere decided to bring the tax plan up for a vote in the House of Representatives. This was something that wasn't supposed to go down technically until next week. Well, come to find out this morning, they put it to a vote and it passed. So the first part of the tax plan has now moved from the House of Representatives now to the United States Senate. So very, very, very bullish energy to start the day, and that was a good for the markets overall. I mean, we had been kind of consolidating a little bit for the last couple days, and just, I mean, that 154 cap that I had put up there, I mean, it just exploded right above it with today's move, and I mean, that's what it was today. Absolutely what it was today, as you can see here on the hourly charts. Man, I mean, just a beast. What a beast. I mean, just from the morning, the buy signals were everywhere. I mean, there were too many stocks, large cap stocks, to buy. Everything was running. Everything was running today. We were pretty disappointed in Cisco. I saw a guy who was hot on Cisco pre-market or after hours last night, and then Cisco it just ended up being a complete dud, even though that was a earnings winner. Here you go, opened up and didn't really do anything after that. I mean, just kind of opened up, and you know, you had a little bit, maybe 30 cents move higher, and that was it on Cisco. I thought that would keep running on those incredible earnings. I also want to hit on what's going on, Terry Cherry. What do you write, Joel Kraft? I kind of want to hit on also some of these Chinese companies out here that are literally, I mean, destroying people's accounts. I mean, some of these Chinese plays out here are destroying people's accounts that I'm seeing post on StockTwits and on Twitter. You know, there's all fun and games when you're trying to jump into these trades to make a few bucks, but when they don't go your way, I mean, they are fucking people's lives up, man. They are really fucking people over. Said you made some of your money back today, all green today. All right, that's cool, Donnie Hill. You know, but I bet she won't make that mistake again. And that's really all you can do, man, is just, you know, figure out what you did wrong and don't do it again to the best of your ability. You said you haven't lost until you sell. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. And when I'm losing my ass in the trade, I have learned just sell it. Just get it over with. Because the longer I sit on it, the worse it becomes. So, you know, I just let it go. Just let it go. Especially when I was, you know, shorting stocks, man. Shorting stocks, and you're in too early and that shit starts squeezing the shit out of you. Just take the fucking L. And, you know, come back in at a better, you know, at a better point. And the only time I'm taking the L is when I'm trying to time the top. You know, you try to time the top and you're like, oh, fuck, they really want this fucking stock. Next thing you know, you're down 5, 10. And then it cools off and you're like, okay, I might go green. Oh, shit, 11. All right, I fuck it. I'm done. I'm fucking done. All right, let's keep it going. Universal Security Instruments, 38.4% gain in one day. Looks like the volume went Pluto today. I'm not sure what's going on with that story. I do remember somebody bringing up Joe Silva. Did you bring that up like yesterday or the day before yesterday? It didn't look like this. Nice gain on that. Is this another momentum kind of thing? Out of nowhere with that momentum. Nice play on that. Up 38%. I don't know if you're going to be able to hold that, though, on that kind of move. Not sure you're going to be able to hold that. Absolutely not. You're absolutely correct. I mean, 90% of some of the stocks we're talking about, you know, a day, maybe 2 days max. I mean, some of the stocks that you just know they're not going to be second day moves, you know. That's why a lot of shorts love this show too. A lot of guys who love the short love this show. I mean, we bring up all the stocks that are hot. You fatten up your pocketbook, man. Stop loss 3 seconds after you buy. Book said put in stop loss 3 seconds after you buy. PayPal will benefit from Black Friday and Christmas. Absolutely. But I mean, you don't even have to. That's the thing about PayPal is like, just go a little longer with it. I mean, he's just fine with going a month, but, you know, put up some dough and go even further out. You'll be fine. You know, that stock is fine, man. That's like buying, you know, Microsoft when they put out, you know, Windows 95 or some shit like that. We're just at the cusp of what PayPal can do. They are the standard. You go on a website today, one of the first things you look at is, hey man, do they take PayPal? You know, because you know if that site tries to fuck you over, you can get your fucking money back. Achillion Pharmaceuticals, biotherapeutic play, up 17%. 14.8 million shares traded. Don't know much about this stock. We brought it here before. I probably should take some time to learn what exactly is going on here because it's actually been holding these single digits, as you can see here, for quite a bit of time here. More than likely headed lower. You know, it's really fighting it. Looks like it cooled off from the selling just to kind of get a breather out of those oversold levels. But clearly looks to be heading lower. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this as another one of those biotechs that we see slowly going sub-dollar and then eventually, you know, finding its way on OTC markets. ACHN. But make sure, I mean, go do some background on that, because you kind of be surprised with what they got under their sleeve and what they're working on, because they've been holding up there for some time here, just kind of bouncing off those 350s. Unfortunately, you didn't get the support this week, or this time rather. As you can see here, it's bounced off the threes a couple times here, and unfortunately threes are charmed in the wrong way for ACHN. This actually has options available on it too, not liquid, but they are out there. In fact, open interest, what's the open interest on that? Okay, interesting. Yeah, they actually have options available. Serenity Moving Services, IHS. Let's take a look at it. That's that highway system, right? Yeah. Intelligent Highway Solutions. Yeah, this is a lottery ticket. I've pulled up this ticker before. I don't know what's going on with the company. Just be careful. I wouldn't, at this point, they just need to get that float under control. This float is ridiculous. 490 million shares were traded today, and the stock did nothing. That float is ridiculous. Way too much dilution. They need to get it under control. They need some shares canceled. They need a reverse split. They need to figure it out. I wouldn't even touch it. It needs to get figured out. ITUS. ITUS. Oh, I forgot about ITUS. This stock is actually it's holding here. This was the stock that was being pumped by PennyStockEgghead.com. Nathan, I forgot what his name is. Nathan something. But he calls himself the Penny Stock Egghead. Pumped the stock, got it higher, and basically he had sent out an email, literally up here, saying, "Congrats, guys. We're no longer going to be, talking about it, blah blah blah," and it, shitted on itself. But this new volume that's came into the stock, looks like some people have decided to hang on for a lot longer. And that's what you have here in ITUS. Showing some weakness here, though, because volume is drying up. You're down now to 388,000 shares. A huge, huge difference from where it was just a month ago on ITUS. So looking like a short now at these levels. Looking like a short at these levels, but still finding buyers, surprisingly. 8.5% gain today to 283. To 283. Said add the 50 on the chart. I got the 50 up. Oh, okay. It's actually holding the 50 moving average. All right, cool. Adding the 50 moving average. Let me see here. Oh, wow. It is a buy. Okay. One of my favorites now is besides 15 and 30, is 15 and 15. It gets me in the chart a little bit late, but I'm cool with it. A little bit late, but I'm cool with it, because I now know I'm getting into something that's the real deal. I love it for finding weakness in stocks, so I'm not getting in too early and rushing to cover. Nice play on that one. Nice play on that one. MVIS. MVIS. Should have been looking at this stock. You see my moving average has caught it beautifully here at 238. Now at $1.49. Beautiful play here. Down 5.5. Well, actually just 5%. Down 8 cents for the day. $1.49. You're hanging there, but you're oversold here. You have some support. I don't know. You might want to. We got some support here. You got some support here to maybe cushion the fall, but you are oversold on the stock here. You did get some commitment from buyers on that lows, though. You hit a low of 135 today. You got buyers down there, the 135s. Let's see if they can hold up here and get you out of oversold territory. All right. Appreciate that, Bat Scientist. Let's look at what Parker Mills had brought up. CNEX. 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 1471 up 3%. Let me get rid of my moving averages so I can have you guys see it a little bit better. 1471 up 3%. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Is there an official watch list created by this vlog? No, we used to do the watch list shit. We need to go back to that, Chris. Thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, we used to put out a watch list every night, but I don't know. I felt like guys weren't even giving a fuck about our watch list. Although we had very good tickers. I mean, some of those tickers would fucking run. But then we went through a spurt where it's like every fucking ticker we had up, none of them were having a second day. And many of the stocks we do talk about, admittedly, don't have second days. But, I mean, that's why the shorters love this show. Because it's just bank. Lots of people using 8 exponential moving average. The T-line, yeah, that 4 and 8. The thing about the 4 and 8, though, it gives a lot of false signals. You got to be careful with that 4 and 8 exponential moving average. Especially the 8. The 8 is a little too close for comfort for me. I'll take a 13 or a 15. I prefer like the 15. 8 is a little bit too tight for me. You said what happened to the Friday show? I just wanted to have a life again, man. So I go out on Fridays now, man. The Friday shows were cool, but man, so, when you're at home on Friday nights, man, it's like, what the fuck? Your weekend goes by faster and shit. Let me see here. Yeah, if you're looking for some easy money, go long PayPal. Go long any of those stocks that have been running right now, man. You're going to get this tax plan. You're going to be good to go. You're going to be good to go, man. All right. Even some of these small caps that are going to win on that tax plan too. There are already articles out there on that shit. BZUN, Bozun American. Don't know anything about this. Looks like an IT play. It's holding those higher lows. Nice. You got a trend starting here, so. Or it's been going on actually. Just got to be very careful with where you catch this. $35.80. I think they're better plays you can put your money in though. KLDX. Another oversold stock coming out of oversold levels. Klondex Mines. $11. Actually, no, up 11%, excuse me. Up 26 cents. And if I put my... All right, so still bearish to me, but again, it's a slower pair. Not going to catch the bullish move. I'm looking for the bearish move, and when I'm using my choice of moving averages. All right, nice move there on KLDX. EAD. Wells Fargo Income Opportunities Fund. This is a... let me see here. You can trade this? Let me see here. Wells Fargo Income. Because I know you got some... All right. Is this income? What is this? Like a dividend ETF or something? Income Opportunities Fund. That typically, when you hear that, I'm thinking some kind of dividend ETF. Kind of like that one that's got the commercials running right now. LEAD, L-E-A-D. This is a dividend ETF, where it's just companies that pay dividends. It's very illiquid. That's why they're running commercials like crazy on CNBC, trying to get people to buy this shit. It's actually running really well, though. I mean, it's, if you're looking for a good swing trade for your old man, you can put him in something like this. You can sleep at night. RIOT. Riot Blockchain Incorporated. Wow, what the fuck is this? Never heard of this one. Sounds like a blockchain company. Don't know much about this one. Kenny Dutton. Yeah. I see it's a safe play, but there's some better ETFs, that don't have incredible liquidity, but that are going to give you a better looking chart than what you had put up. Go to ETFD.com. That's the Exchange Traded Fund Database. So ETFD.com. And it's got basically all the publicly traded ETFs on the market. Do your research on them. And you got much more safer plays that have better setups than what that was. ETFD.com. All right, a couple more before we get out of here. NETS. NTES. $326 stock. Looks like it's all right. So these are depository shares. Each share representing 25 ordinary. Yeah, I'm not big into the depository shares thing. Yeah, we kind of stay out of those things. I try not to make my trading complicated with we talk about depository shares and all the Class B shares. Just forget it. CADC's got to be on your list though. CADC's got to be on your list. Yeah, Kenny Dutton, that's it. CADC's got to be on your list tomorrow to watch because we've had stranger stories here before. I know I said that yesterday with a couple of the Chinese stocks that ran yesterday. Very few of them had second days. If you're quick with your fingers, you still were able to make some kind of money in the morning with them. But for the most part, look, it's just kind of one and done thing when we talk about these Chinese stocks. All right, one and done thing when it comes to these Chinese stocks. Sears, unusual move for Sears. I think it's just cooling off to get out of oversold levels. You're headed lower in Sears tomorrow. That was just kind of really weird. GE, we talked about GE yesterday. Same story. We thought GE would actually get out of those levels this morning. It didn't. It's just sold off from the get-go. Down just a penny, but I think a red day again tomorrow. You got a lot of people talking about the stock right now, so I think you got people who actually think it could reverse. I think they eventually lose out and GE continues to go lower, in my opinion. You still got a lot of, levels to kind of give up there. This is a classic pump and dump here. IPDN. IPDN, if you do some research on IPDN, basically, Professional Diversity Network, they had like this website where they supposedly, we're going to help gays and transgender people get employed, and we're going to help black people. It's just a whole bunch. They're just playing a lot of games. I think it's just nothing but an ATM cash cow for the owners. They paid promoters in the past to pump the stock. It's got a lot of bearish things. It always leaves people with a bad taste in their mouth. If you're looking to go short, I think it's a great opportunity for you to go short in this stock. Just be very careful with it. But I think, again, it's the same story all over again for this company, Professional Diversity Network. I don't even know how they're still trading. They should not be trading on these higher exchanges at all. Yeah, Sears is gone. Sears is a goner. Sears is a goner. My only thing is that a lot of those retail companies, though, Macy's, Sears, JCPenney's, the book value is higher than the market value, right? So they still have incredible amount of real estate, cash on hand that they can use. So it is kind of scary to short the shit out of those things because they can unload to one of these, drip funds or some shit like that. Dividend, these little real estate REITs. So you got to be very careful with that. But yeah, I have no doubt that most of them will go to zero. But my biggest fear is that one day they just, you're short and they're like, oh yeah, we're unloaded. We just sold $60 million worth of assets, and that's gonna send the stock higher. It's a lot of cash. So check out S after the sprint. They fell through, started climbing. Yeah, we had Bad Scientists come on the air, talked about how Sprint and SoftBank is going into the open market and buying shares. And I didn't think that was a very important thing, but You know, it's been holding. And as you can see here, you got companies like Snapchat. The only thing that prevented Snapchat from going to $10 was the fact that you had a Chinese company come out and say, oh, yeah, we're buying stock of Snap on the open market. So that actually has some influence when you have companies that are interested in another publicly traded company, and instead of just going out there and making a tender offer for the whole thing, they're going out into the open market and buying just like, you know, a retail investor. That can hold the stock up because they are buying significant amounts of shares and, you know, controlling a part of the float for months, if not years. That will never see the open market again. So he said Buffett bought a shitload of Apple. Absolutely. Bought a shitload of Apple. Absolutely. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. That's how Warren Buffett has made his millions. Warren Buffett, you know, the guy doesn't necessarily make, he's made some tender offers, but he does start out by going into, you know, the company in the open market, taking a position, slowly accumulating shares over a period of time, and then it's like, okay, you know, and then he goes for the whole thing. Then he goes for the whole thing. You know. It's so crazy, man. That guy is so freaking rich. And then he's come out and said he won't leave a dime for his kids. You know, Bill Gates says the same thing. I won't leave any money for my children. That's insane, man. That's just insane. But Warren Buffett's son, he's independently wealthy. He's a farmer, and, you know, he's got like a shitload of land and stuff. So they're good. But I think, you know, a lot of rich people, they don't want their kids to end up like the Waltons. The Waltons are like they're like the classic example of like, my dad was rich and he left his money to us, and we've just, you know, really turned into like evil people. Because if you read about the Waltons and like how some of the family members, they like hate each other, and, you know, just they're very mean people, and they treat their employees who work for them really badly and stuff. You do your research on that kind of thing. But a lot of wealthy people, they kind of feel like they don't want to leave the money they've earned to their kids because their kids haven't deserved it. It's a really interesting mindset. OPHC. Yeah, that's got to be on your watch list too. That's got to be on your watch list too. But I have a feeling this was just a low float pump. This is a stock, as you can see here, that rarely ever trades. And just classic chat room pump. Got it running. I think you dump on everyone tomorrow on this one. I'm actually going to type this down myself. And I'm going to look right now, see if there are any shares available here on Interactive Brokers. OPHS. Do we have any shares of OPHS? Do we have some? OP. No, shit. All right, no shares to short. Fuck. All right. No shares to short OPGX, no OPHC. Yeah, no shares to short. What is this? Obgenics. Obgenics. This is I think it's an OTC stock. Yeah. Okay. Oh, real quick, just to finish off my list of pump and dumps out there. LXRP. LXRP is another pump and dump. Stock took a toll today, but could bounce off this, but it's a pump and dump that's running right now. You know, it's kind of one of those bio companies. Just it's a pump and dump. ORGMF. Oh, is that what, right? ORGM. Is it ORGFM? ORGM. I don't know why, for whatever reason, it's saying I'm not putting it in right. Oh, okay. It's OGRMF. There it is. Here's another pump and dump that's running right now. This is another pump and dump running right now. No real books to speak of. All right, so I had 4 tickers. Those are the 4 tickers that pump and dumps that are running right now. for you to be aware of. Said Buffett has never spoon-fielded. Yeah. Yeah, that Walton family's evil as fuck. All right, Jeff Thayer. Let me go to the chat room here. Jeff Thayer, IMMU, up 8%. It's a nice little 3-day run from those 1050s, Jeff. The stock's up almost a $1.50 from that dump here, at the 13 level. So somebody's buying this up, man. You got buyers here buying this higher after that dump. Whatever took place there, nice 3-day run here. Nice week so far, period, for IMMU. Yeah. Oh, Arizona Poker Pro. There you go with SPI. They did the reverse split. I don't know what happened to that thing about the shares and all that stuff like that. I think that was it. It was the whole reverse split kind of thing. I feel sorry for the people who lost their money. I mean, the stock was trading at 14 cents. They did a reverse split. I think it was like, 20-for-1 or something like that. So it was ridiculous. Now they're trading at $1.14. They lost their ass after it opened up. And you got guys now still going short on SPI. Even though the float is a little light, it's still scary. So I don't know about shorting it now because it's actually, it's not that bad. It's not really going down. So it's kind of scary there. All right. AMPE. Let me see what Callie Robb is talking about. AMPE biotech play. All right, yeah, it looks like they got that listing plan from the New York Stock Exchange to stay listed. They're moving higher. Not bad. Yeah, overall, guys, it was a really good trading week. Overall, a really good trading week. The market is back to where we, started or ended last week. Monday, Tuesday were kind of really weird days for the market pulling back like they did. We saw the Japanese markets as well sell off. But, now we got the tax plan, at least the first part of the process done. Now moving into the Senate. There'll be a little bit of wrangling there, but I think the Senate will get it done by the end of the year. If not, by the, it's early part of next year. But overall, man, I have no news to say not to continue to go long, especially if you're in some of these large caps. Just keep going. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right. Let me go ahead and ring the bell, folks. I appreciate you joining me. Another great day reviewing the markets. I got my watch list. You got your watch list. I know we beat up at least 70, maybe, 60, 70 stocks today. Not bad. Went through quite a few of them. Next Monday is another day. I think next Monday, obviously, we got Thanksgiving and whatnot. I'll just kind of come in. I know I'll be here Monday. Tuesday, I don't see a problem. Thanksgiving, I won't be on. But as long as the market is open, I'll be on. If the market's open, I'll be on. So that's my schedule with you guys next week. That's my schedule with you guys next week. All right. So until then, appreciate you, Corey. Great show, everybody, today. Yeah, shout out to all the trolls who stopped calling, man. Shout out to all the trolls who moved on. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Bad Scientist. Joe Silva. Do I put on some technicals on the charts? Yeah, I used to put on the technical signals, but guys used to say clutter the chart. Like, personally, I use, Bollinger Bands. When I trade, my chart looks like this. This is how my chart looks when I trade. I put it on that, put that on. Maybe 100 moving average. I got the money flow sometimes, or MACD. So my chart is a lot busier when I trade. But for the show, it can get little, you see how it kind of looks, it can get a little bit, you know, a little bit crowded. So I let that kind of go. And for the sake of the show, you know. Appreciate it, Robert. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time here, please click subscribe. Press like on this video right now. If you got some bread to spare, always do me a favor. Donate or click Patreon link here in the description. Support the show. Shout out to all the people who are supporting the show at $5 a month. I appreciate you. Need to learn how to trade? Click Millionaire Trading Academy. The guy who taught me, Tim Sykes, he's got some package he can sell you. Go through me. With that being said, Cali Rob, Gucci, Bad Scientist, as I said, James Bond, Terry Cherry, Kenny Dutton, K-Mac, Corey Artie Buckley, Jeff Thayer, all my callers, SE Trucker. You know, damn, SE Trucker, you're cold when it comes to the kids, man. Iceberg J, Poker Pro. Shout out to all the people in the chat room right now watching in the future. I'll see you guys back same time, same place tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Oh, nah, shit, I'm not on tomorrow. What the fuck? Monday. My bad. Monday, shit. I'm not fucking on Monday. I'm going to the movies. I'm going to watch that, what's that movie? That Thor movie, yeah. Somebody said that Thor movie kicks ass, so I'm going to go watch that Thor movie. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Did that? I'll fucking do it again. Monday.